Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, guys. Hi, welcome, and let's. Yeah, so this is like a short stream, for the short Q&A. That I'd be more than happy to answer your questions. But first, let's get it going through for the questions that been already posted under the tweet of mine. Let me check that. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here we go. How will Bakkt futures affect, in brackets negatively, okay, affect Bitcoin after launch? After launch, I believe. Okay, some chart. Anyway, yeah. So to understand, how it may influence the price action and not only for the Bitcoin. I think it would just more address it in a more, let's say, fundamental background, right? Because what we are doing with Bakkt, which is due to open on 23rd of September, from what I can see, supported by ICA Futures US, and this is a big, I think, event for Bitcoin, for the whole crypto infrastructure, for the whole crypto ecosystem. Because it practically opens, brand new fully regulated market to simply US citizens. So it opens the door for institutional clients, okay, primarily for customers as well, for individual customers. Now let's actually get a quick overlook for what they are, just selling, for the idea, right? Regulated infrastructure for Bitcoin markets and custody, bringing federally regulated price discovery to Bitcoin markets, fueled by the same technology and expertise that powers ICE's global markets, the Bakkt Bitcoin daily and monthly futures. So we're having two different future contracts, right? There would be the daily and the monthly. Enable physical delivery through secure regulated custody. Okay, so I think this is big stuff, right? I mean, we've been waiting pretty much over a year already for it to be launched, right? Every time it was delayed pretty much from the regulators side, and the fact. The first end-to-end regulated digital asset ecosystem for institutions, right? So we are opening the door for institutional money, which are obviously the greatest drivers for any market, right? So whenever there come some ways, institutional ways, like hedge funds, like some banks at times, or any other just institution, company, or some financial service providers that would be interested to come to trade and hedge, for example, using Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. And then this would be like a massive leap for them, I think, having known that this is fully regulated and approved by financial regulators, and this is safe, providing physical contract for Bitcoin. Okay, so this is like this is something new practically, right? This is something new because it would be from now on backed with physical delivery. Okay, so it's not anymore empty stuff to trade. You know what I mean? I mean, it would stop being just some digital money, right, that nobody believes in. And I think this is really good, for fundamental development of that, right? So we are opening new markets, we are opening to new clients, we are opening for potential new money, big money from institutions to flow in simply to the market. Okay, so we are moving a step ahead. I think it's like a next step on the way to simply for the global adoption. Okay. Obviously, the adoption, it takes years and decades very often, depending on the country, right? But I think this is definitely a good way ahead. Designed for institutional market participants, simplified trading access, bank level AML, KYC. Obviously, I mean, honestly speaking, KYC matter. I don't really think anybody would avoid it sooner or later. I mean, if we want, if you want to trade crypto, if you want to earn money on crypto, and pretty much just make it legal, then sooner or later everybody probably would be forced legally to follow KYC and AML policies, which I think overall, this all serves to simply avoid defraudations like frauds, malversations, or any other drug dealing and on the black market, or every other darknet matters that are just happening, which is quite obvious, right? It is obvious that it's happening. So I'm quite sure they're just gonna be wanting that to prevent market participants from that. Best-in-class markets in credit and asset security. Okay, strict operating procedures to direct the safekeeping and storage of customers' digital assets. Okay, so they would be pretty much just proving the safety, the physical form of the contracts of daily or monthly. So we can expect around probably before the contracts expire on the daily and monthly basis, we could expect, for example, like some heavier price action regarding the potential increasing volatility. But again, the volatility depends on the regulations. Okay, if there are hard regulations, there are just some strict rules and daily open practically times or closes for the market, right, or the weekly. It's all it's practically more or less just leading to make it less volatile. Okay, because not everybody would be able to trade it, which means that those who deny KYC would not be pretty much allowed to trade it probably sooner or later. As I said, I'm not quite sure we can anyhow avoid it. But yeah, like opening new market definitely, and the fully regulated part would ensure pretty much new serious money to flow in to Bitcoin and blockchain technology as it is, with the Bitcoin as the main, let's say, representative. What else? Cold wallets, whatever. So it seems, here we go. Listed on ICA Futures US and cleared for the contract details. Now, settlement price does not rely on any unregulated spot crypto markets. Okay, margin daily and monthly contracts with ability to go physical delivery, which is, I think, huge. Delivers to the Bakkt warehouse, which is operated or limited purpose trust company. Trust for cryptocurrencies, trust for banks, for any institutions is always the greatest matter for traders, right? For like any participant in the market. Contract size 1 Bitcoin. Okay. Block trade minimum 10 lots. Minimum tick size $2.50. Trading hours from 8 p.m. to 6 p.m. APT, Sunday to Friday. Daily settlement with like that, trading, clearing, delivery per contract, market programs. Okay, so I think, guys, like this is obviously for its nature, it's bullish. Regarding long-term perspective, it's bullish. On Bakkt, they have also indicated that they want to be a global crypto warehouse and payments network. The payment network would be electronic and instant with batch transfers daily in Bitcoin. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. For fundamental reasons, we can consider that to be a huge step ahead. Okay, for many reasons that I've already covered. So in long-term perspective, we are getting ready for a new wave of institutional money whenever they would just decide for the price action to be sufficient and good enough to enter that, right? Here it says, James saying the payment network idea may or may not still be a valid idea given that Ripple will likely can dominate the market. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about Ripple though. So yeah, regarding how it influences the price. So any open for the launch on 23rd. There is this popular saying that buy the rumor, sell the news. Okay, so there might be just some idea. There might be just some way that we could expect something big to happen regarding the price action on 23rd or around 23rd, which means like 21st, 22nd, or 24th, right? So I wouldn't be surprised at all, for example, if they decide to I don't want to say crash the market, but just play and make the market with potentially just dropping and shaking out weekends, so-called weekends, from low time frame play, and getting the space ready for mid time frame and high time frame players, which is mainly the funds, mainly the institutions, okay, because they don't really play low time frame swings. They are just there for the longest story. These guys are wanting to invest only in high quality projects, high quality stocks, companies that are able to provide with little, let's say, operational issues, with little operational effort, that are just here to give it for the long term, like a bigger gain, right? So they would not just go and put the damn cross leverage on BitMEX and trade like legends, right? They would just play it safe and more for the long term, to be able to simply just maximize the ROI for them with minimizing at the same time the operational issues and matters. And so we can expect just some market making play from whales, possibly from institutional whales, to make the market around 23rd of September, in my honest opinion. Now, will it happen? I don't know, obviously, but we can assume that we can just get ready in case it happens, right? So that's what I mean. And if they decide, let's say, like, because what could attract the institutional investors? And it would obviously be the cheap Bitcoin, right? So if, let's say, they decide, if they're having or planning some kind of like a strategy to dump the market hard, to shake out low time frame weekends, then this may practically just encourage bigger money, bigger institutions to think, okay, like that, now guys, okay, listen, this is our time, okay, we can just go and test this new Bakkt features, right? And this way, just encouraging through the market dumping, they could pretty much just attract new institutional customers, and hence obviously just earn the money for Bakkt, as these the exchange, let's say, providers, right? That's what I mean. And so right after, if it happened, we could obviously just later expect some bigger upward volatility and just gradual steady growth upwards, right? We need to realize that the more regulated the crypto is, as I said, the less volatility we could probably expect. I mean, it would still probably remain the most volatile aspect, the most volatile asset for its nature. But I think like the more regulations there are, it's naturally attracting more money, greater players of bigger market share. That would mean that no longer some individual whales, retail whales as I call it, like simply some guys that were lucky enough to buy Bitcoin cheap, like for a cent, right? And then they just bought thousands of them, and now just sitting being rich. That could easily just print 500 bucks, just candle upwards and downward within 1 minute. So yeah, I mean, this is Bakkt. Yeah, it's opening the warehouse next Friday, but it's only for deposits. Okay, so the release officially is 23rd. Matt. So I think this is the case, right? Where's that? Yeah, so we can expect just some market dump around this area, perhaps to attract new institutional money on the very open of that, to make it just most encouraging. They would just open and get the Bitcoin chip. If again, I'm just emphasizing that this is only an assumption. Okay, nobody knows what will happen, obviously, but this is something that we can get ready for, and this seems quite logical, right? And what else? So we could practically expect like a market dump, and then later to be followed by gradual movement up, right? And like if you're having big money, you need to have time to accumulate that, right? If you're having big money, you need to accumulate, let's say, the asset that you want to buy. Because like otherwise you're just having like the same scenario as it was like on the April 1st, April Fool's joke, straight candle shooting from 4 to 5k, shaved bottom or top, candle with no wicks, pure market buying candle, okay, from some whales. Yeah, so we can expect like some time of accumulation as well, perhaps to around the launch of Bakkt, right? But still, like for longer picture, for months and for years, I think this is a huge step ahead, right? So we are just getting closer and closer to the stage that we want to be and see. So the opening for deposits won't have any impact. Well, you can deposit that, but you cannot really trade that from what I can understand, right? So this is the case. So we would not practically just influence, I think, the price action as it is. Yeah, so I'm excited for that. I'm excited. I think this is a huge step ahead. Let's see what's going on, or for other question. In your view, was this past run from 32 to 13k the first wave up of a broader bull market trend, or are we then about to enter in the second wave? Well, counting the waves, I don't know if you mean Elliott waves or whatever, but this is, if we mean waves like general impulses, right? In the, let's say, overall logarithmic trend. Let me just show you where it is. Oh, here it is, right? So this is the chart that I made the other day. Like just wrapping up the previous, like the most recent recorded history for Bitcoin since around like 2010. And you can clearly say it's been, an ascending, let's say, logarithmic curve, right? Some people call it like parabolic because if you zoom it out, just it could be like a parabola, but I'm not a big fan. I would just rather call it like exponential rally. But yeah, but it's forming, it's forming quite a nice ascending channel, right? So we can expect, like the other day I said, technically, targets like 50k or 75k, even gauging on the extrapolation of this upper curve. This is possible, okay, but the question is whether it is possible or not for fundamental reasons from regulators, right? Because if all regulators would be very tight about the regulations about KYC, I mean it can definitely influence and discourage some retail investors to just fearing about their privacy. They might be really discouraged for some time, but sooner or later I think this is this is how it looks for markets to emerge. I think for financial markets to emerge. So I think this is overall a good and very bullish scenario, right? So technically 50-75k is possible, but technically we must be realistic as well. So if it happens, like we cannot trade assuming it will happen, right? We can, if it happens, we are just damn fucking lucky, right? So we can only celebrate on that basis, but I would not be really trading towards these numbers. If it happens, cool, fair enough. But definitely I would assume that so many people would just still get wrecked, not taking any profits, because they would think it would just go straight up to 100k, right? So yeah, this is how it goes. Where's the question though? Oh yeah, here it is. So I think indeed what's happening right now is just some mid-time frame correction, right? Bitcoin in its history, has had many corrections of this kind, right? Most of them were, let's say, more drastic than this one. So, but again, like the volatility, if you can clearly say and open, just gauging on this very chart that I showed you, the volatility, is decreasing over the years. Okay, the volatility is decreasing over the years, and market is just kind of like slowing down, I think, because markets tend to slow down when the regulators appear, practically because it's naturally and logically harder for some reasons to trade it, right? So the volatility would decrease over the time, most probably. the closer it gets for the regulations to let's say normal stocks, regular stocks or futures for commodities, right? Or just, I don't know, indices markets or forex or anything. The closer it gets to that for the regulations matter, the less volatility you would have, but it would still be classified as a very risky class of asset, I think. Okay, yeah. So I think it does have a strong potential to go upward after short consolidation, right? What we are kind of like saying right now is a consolidation, right? So it's just consolidating here around. You can clearly say, it's just kind of like consolidating, right? It's ranging from 14 almost K towards like 9.1, right? So this is technically for the price action, if we manage to break out above like 14K or so, then we can just expect like a move up from just being the range, the height of the range, right? The range of this consolidation in the price to be like what, $5,000 perhaps. That would be around like all-time high values. Okay, if it manages to break out, obviously. I've heard some theories that that it was just like a massive liquidity pump for institutions to exit markets before the regulations come in, right? So yeah, I mean, it can be true. Okay, it can be true. I mean, listen, I mean, crypto is risky for a reason. Okay, and risky, it means like people would naturally come here attracted by the volatility with the vision that I can only earn the money. Well, actually, the high risk, the high reward that they can get is always blended, is always kind of like connected with big risk that they take, right? If we are currently in a correction, have we reached the bottom, or we're still dropping further? People are calling at 7K. Well, it all depends on this very beautiful 911 horizontal support, right? So I don't know if you've seen my tweet the other day. Where is that? Let me just find it. Oh, here it should be. Here it is, right? So this is forming like a descending triangle. Technically, this is like a technical pattern, descending triangle. So we can expect, if in case we break through this 911 level, you could expect everybody to trigger their shorts, okay? Because this has been quite a strong support zone. Then everybody would automatically trigger their shorts. Is that knowing that shorting practically Bitcoin at the moment, the whales are just only looking for liquidity. So knowing that, they could practically just enter massive whale longs with little slippage, right? This is what they all just simply care for or about. And this could just be followed as well with this bear trap. So this would trap bears, late people just shorting the breakdown instead of, let's say, the breakdown retest. Because if it manages to retest the breakdown and just break through the floor established right before, so that would be probably just leading towards this 8K targets, most probably. Like descending triangle pattern gives it range for the highest width it has, right? So here like that, it would have probably like the range technically towards like 4,300, which is, in my opinion, not anyway it can go like that, at least for now, judging what's going on right now. So yeah, in my opinion, it could just easily trap people to just later break through the very same and you just continue the upward way. I mean, I would not be surprised at all to see something like that. I mean, we're having a bunch of targets. Where is that? That would be very important, like 9.1 obviously, then 8.7, 8.5 for the market close, for the market CME gap to be filled, 8.1, 175, 7576 here we are having practically like a cluster, you know, 7.4 to 7.6, 7.2 and 7, right? So anywhere here we're anywhere here we are practically just go down to these levels, right? In case we break down and retest it successfully for the shorts, right? So and breaks through the floor, then we can expect it to go lower. Yeah. Okay, guys. So let me just know if you're having just one more last question, so we can just get it covered, and perhaps that would be it. Make sure, guys, you know, to visit theburners.com as well. We are having massive, very nice, interesting Medium articles over here that you can easily just get it covered and see for free. Obviously, you know, just many decent articles, gems. You can obviously join our Discord as well. Check out our services, Cause Only, NAS Club, mentoring of mine that I run, Forex channel, or modules that are, you know, $10 all. Weekend chatting school, or new project. The bulletin is just coming, the issue number 4 coming in a week. All of that by the reminder for the bulletin to be free from now on, right? So don't forget about it. Yeah. So let's. I'm just waiting a second more, getting a sip of my good coffee, and let me know if you're having one last question for me to cover for you. Damn these bots. You can always check, you know, guys, our the Bird Nest Twitter account, where we can always, you know, just post. Obviously, we're having, you know, just almost 6K followers, which is very fine to see. Yeah, but my pleasure. Thoughts on the trending alt or trading alt? What do you mean? If it comes to any altcoins, I mean, no matter what, you know, I'm not a big fan of trading greatest risk in life, right? So I'm not much of a suicidal guy. So I would just rather, you know, wait for the dominance to cool off before I put in bigger money into altcoin market, right? But before it happens, I'm just much more focused on low time frame swings and scalps, rather than, you know, just holding the capital for some longer period, right? I don't consider that to be you know, just quite safe, I think. Yeah. So if it manages, you know, to just simply start the tame downtrend, guys, I would be more than happy to enter bigger money, right? But for now, like, if you go to Binance.com or whatever, you can clearly say, you know, like, highest top volume altcoins having like what, 2,000 bitcoins, right? This is some damn fucking joke. I mean, you cannot really trade any bigger money with this liquidity, with this lack of liquidity. So if it comes, you know, it can be great, best fundamental project, but it still may dump like crazy if there is no buyers on the exchange. If you can predict what Bitcoin is going to do over the weekend, well, weekends are always, you know, just more for people to rest. Okay, people just simply go and party like crazy, like legends, especially crypto, because the average age for crypto traders is like, you know, let's say lower than not, right? So so they would just naturally just you know, rather to rest. Hence, they put their stop losses on for until they're back from the parties, which means they're, you know, just easy. They're very opening themselves, you know, to easy liquidity hands traps, so they can just, you know, price action would dive right below their stop losses if they're long, and liquidate, you know, just, or close their position, make them short and bounce right after for the reasons I said, for liquidity hunts from the whales, right? So if it, in case it's, I would expect it simply to consolidate a bit. Okay, like hourly momentum is already like overbought, which is, not the strongest sign it can get. It's ranging down here at the bottom, and the ranging here after a solid drop is usually just in the form of, bearish pennant or bearish flag. So we can just, once broken the trend line of the pennant or flag, you can easily just drop further. So as soon, in case it breaks the level of 93.21, that is local low, then I could expect it practically dive towards like 87 to 91. Okay, 87 would obviously come if 91 would be broken, but again, 91 broken, it might mean that everybody would be shorting because their stop losses, just hit trigger, so that from the longs they flip to shorts, to sit in cash automatically, and it would be extremely easy to trap them and just simply knowing that they would trigger stop losses, they can just enter whale longs for that. But yeah, I mean, the price action for the weekly is looking like very unbullish, I would say, especially for momentum. Okay, for momentum, so we could expect like a comeback probably towards like this area for the weekly around like 76 or 74. Technically, if this one is broken. Okay, for weekly level, in case of breakdown of 91, as I said, is 87.50, which if broken should lead to fill this 74 to 76 area. Okay, but this is like a bearish scenario. The bullish scenario obviously could get, we need to just go to 12-hour daily to spot any potential targets. We can expect, in case it for some reason starts to be very bullish. I mean, momentum has crossed already, like it's, momentum has crossed bullish. That's what I mean. On the top of that, it's printing, just some bullish divergence on 12 hours, which is quite a solid stuff. We can just zoom it out to confirm as well the ascending swing here, right? So we are heading bullish 12-hour divergence, so it's again like kind of like mixed signals, because the bullish divergence on higher time frame is usually just more reliable, and as well as let's say stronger signal, right? So it could, let's say, bounce right towards like this 10k or just monthly open support that got broken, that is now resistance, just simply to be retested once more before potentially the monthly close. Right, guys, I mean, we're having 2 days until the monthly closes, and monthly looks like shit right now. So we can expect just some massive crazy battle for the monthly just range to hold or not, right? Because if we close bearish, we could practically see like the momentum crossing bearish on monthly, which would not be most bullish it can get, if you can imagine. So yeah, like to remain bullish, we would definitely need to close above the monthly, above the monthly 10.09885, right? This was the monthly open. So if we manage to break through the resistance and close above it, then we can expect it to be more bullish than not. Okay, that's my comment, guys, on that. Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure to check and visit thebirdnest.com for more details. Yeah, stay safe out there, guys. Go and party during the weekend. Have a good one, guys. Peace and out.